In my hands, I have the Petrel 600 milliliter pot from Fire Maple. I actually just got this stove from them and wanted to test it out before thinking about bringing it on my John Muir Trail hike with me. What I want to do in this video is give you some overview on this pot, and I actually have a stove that is in here also from them. This is the Green Peak stove from Fire Maple also. And so what we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna take a look at this stove. We're gonna take a look at this pot. I wanna talk to you about the quality of this pot. I wanna talk to you about some of my initial impressions of this pot and this stove. And then later in the video, I want you to stick around because we're gonna do a head-to-head boil comparison between this cook setup against kind of the king of kings, the Jetboil. And I want to talk through some differences in the two of these so that you can see and make a decision, is one of these options good for me? The first thing that I want to do with this is I just want to look at kind of some size comparison for you. This is a 600 milliliter pot. It actually has a little extra room towards the top so you can have some boil for that. That's very similar with our Jetboil over here, that you have that. They both hold 2 cups. They both say it, they just say it differently. You have your lid here, and then when you fold this up, it comes over. If you've been around this channel, you know that I really love my Toaks pot. I got my Toaks pot here. But one of my complaints with my Toaks pot is that these handles get super hot. I actually made a video where I did a modification to these handles and I put silicone tubing on them so that you can actually hold them. When you look at the size of your Toaks pot compared to the Fire Maple, they're actually very similar in size. But what you're gonna notice with this Fire Maple pot is it has a built-in heat exchanger. I actually think what they did is genius. I'm glad that someone is finally taking the innovation that Jetboil has, and I'm glad that they're putting it into a pot system, because when I'm on trail, one of the things that I'm thinking about is fuel consumption. If you can get it situated in a pot in such a way to move that heat around, you're gonna have a quicker boil time on this pot. As we move over to the stove, this stove really reminds me of my Pocket Rocket 2 Deluxe. It folds out very easily. It has 3 prongs, it has a larger burner head, but what this stove has is a piezo. And I'm just a big fan of having a piezo. I think you should always bring a lighter with you or some sort of fire source no matter what happens, just in case there's a failure with your piezo. This stove comes in at 3 ounces, and the cost right now, I just went on their website, is $20. We're literally talking a quarter of the price of the Pocket Rocket Deluxe 2. And so if you're looking for a stove that's gonna meet your needs, that's gonna have a piezo and be budget friendly, I think this is a stove that you need to put on your list. And just think of this for cost. This is $3 more than the BRS stove. I have the BRS stove. I've never brought it out backpacking with me because honestly, I don't trust it. I've opened it and looked at it. The burner head isn't big enough. It just doesn't feel like it's gonna fit my needs. But with this, I really do feel like this is a stove that I could bring with me and trust. Now, if you're talking about the pot here, this pot comes in right now, it's on Fire Maple's site and Amazon for around the $23 mark. And so really what you and I are talking about for cost for this entire setup is $45. That's the same price as the Pocket Rocket 2 stove. And this came in on my scale at 5.8 ounces. I'm really impressed on the weight for what this pot has with a see-through lid and this pinch out handle here that comes down, so I feel like I could actually grab this when I'm cooking. Now, the stove comes in at 3 ounces when I put it on my scale. And so total in this system, you're just over half a pound. You're at about 8.8 ounces on the scale. Let's put these two head to head right in front of you. I'm not gonna edit anything once I get this going so you can watch how these boil. we have both of these pots filled with 2 cups of water. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these stoves fired up, we're gonna get these set on there, and we're gonna watch together and see which one of them can boil fastest. Okay, Jetboil's going, and we're gonna get this on here, and then I'm gonna get this fired up, and we'll get them head to head. Okay, so far we're 10 seconds in. Fire Maple's getting a 10-second delay. Wow. Okay, what you didn't see, I don't know if you can hear this because these things are cranking. I'm gonna stand up a little so I can get behind them. Jetboil over here will have an indicator. It will tell us when it's going. But one of the things that happened while I was getting these going is I had some issues with my piezo on my Jetboil. I had to adjust it. It's not a negative for the Jetboil, but these things are cooking. This Fire Maple, I think you saw, this was so easy to get on here. You can see how the pot sits right in there onto the stove. I can see we're starting to get some steam over here. I can see we're starting to get some steam over here. I've been watching the clock. We're at about 1 minute and 10 seconds. Jetboil claims to be the fastest boil time with this Flash Java. Oh, there it is. Do you see it? There you go. You're starting to get it. And so it claims that it's a boil time of 100 seconds, which would be 1 minute and 40 seconds, which we're coming up on now in about 10 seconds here. I see a lot going on here too with the Fire Maple. So I'm just kind of trying to wait and see which one of these boils 2 cups of water first. Our indicator on the Jetboil says that we're pretty much there. I don't see it. Usually this will start rumbling a little. I haven't used the Fire Maple, so we'll see what happens with this guy. Okay, we're hitting the 2-minute mark with Jetboil and we're boiling. Okay. Oh, wrong way. 2-minute mark, Jetboil is boiling. You can see that hopefully steaming over right now. And Fire Maple, we started 10 seconds later, and I don't want to take this off because I think we're there. All right, Fire Maple, we're boiling here too. Oh yeah, this has probably been boiling for the last 10 seconds. Yeah, dang, that was close. Let me just kind of scoot these over a little. I don't want to get burnt at all with these. This has a really nice fit on there. Wow, wow, that was so much quicker than I anticipated it to be with the Fire Maple. We're maybe 10 to 15 seconds shorter in our boil time than we had here with our Jetboil. That was quick. I'm kind of glad you can see this. You can see these 2 pots standing next to each other. As I'm kind of doing this head to head, you know, I want you to see this too with these sitting on here. The Jetboil really has this kind of stout system. Everything locks into place. Our Jetboil is just over a pound. I actually did a video comparing some different stoves. At the end of this video, if you stick around, I'll put a link over here for that. I don't really like to talk negatively about things on this channel. That's not why I'm here. I like companies. I couldn't imagine how tough it is to build something like this that boils water in 90 seconds. Here's kind of my summary. This is a contender. Fire Maple, keep doing what you're doing. That heat exchanger is amazing. The weight that you've done is great. The size of this pot, the Fire Maple comes with its own bag too, so you can stuff everything in there. I know I'm using bigger cans, but you'd be able to fit this smaller can right in here. You can have your whole system in this. I really think Fire Maple, you're onto something. I hope that this video is helpful to compare 2 stoves with piezos with a system that fits together. And if you have any questions about these, go ahead and drop them down in the comments. This is actually really cool too. Fire Maple has offered me a code to share with you where you can get 15% off your order. You just go to firemaplegear.com, type in the code PEAK, P-E-A-K, and you're gonna get 15% off your order with that code from me. So if you have any questions about these, go ahead, drop those questions down in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and do all of those things. And then check out this video on stoves. And if you saw my backpack over here, this is the REI Flash Air. I'll throw a video up over here so you can check that too.